Welcome to our daily Devo time. Northwest Christian Church is a multi-generational church, very intentionally. That's part of our vision. Some churches, they just want the same kind of people. They want to have the same age, not us. We want you to connect with all age groups. We want that for you and we want that for them. We believe that we are better together. God loves to use different generations with different experiences to impact all of us. Today, Jaden Lutz really challenges all of us in an area that we all need to deal with.
Hey NCC, my name is Jaden Lutz and I'm delighted to be able to share from the Bible. So let's jump right in. In many of his epistles, Paul speaks to the exact thing I want to talk about today, the eschewing of both anger and what it morphs into, bitterness. The definition of bitterness is a deep-seated feeling formed from both anger and resentment, often involving an injustice that cannot be remedied. By definition, if we avoid anger, we avoid bitterness. This is best achieved by relying on the Spirit, acknowledging that no matter how infuriating or malicious the person is, the Lord is strong enough to take it. We often feel that we are alone when we're treated harshly. This is false, of course, but the idea makes our self-control weaker than it would be. Though still a good idea, it is also not the best solution to seek the Lord after we grow angry. The truest way to avoid anger is to have Him with us in the moment. It is often difficult to find God in the heat of anger. But the best way to do this is by surrendering our emotions to the Lord as soon as anger begins to flare up. Distancing ourselves from the situation in this way allows us to maintain control and the Lord to move within us. Learning to let the Spirit fill your heart in the middle of a crisis is full of advantages, not the least of which is the avoidance of anger. If we learn to avoid anger by relying on the Spirit, we avoid bitterness as well. The verse of Joshua 1:9 applies here. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be dismayed, for your God is with you wherever you go. This is a wonderful passage. For the strongest man will fall to his folly, but a wise man will show the greatest strength of all, control. And since our God is loving enough to never leave us, we can always have the strength for discipline and avoid anger. However, we are all sinners and makers of mistakes. Anger is a reality, and when anger is left to fester, it rots into bitterness. I know this from personal experience. I was once having a discussion with a friend and one of my siblings. My friend accused my family of some very unfair and harrowing things, and my sibling became sad and disheartened. That made me mad. We left and I didn't do anything about my anger. It sat inside of me, slowly twisting from the burn of anger to the decaying, wretched feeling of bitterness. It clouded my mind for the rest of the day. So much so that I needed to pray about it. I sat outside and asked my Father for peace. My intention to remove the anger there was good, but I was mistaken in the way I went about attaining peace. See, in Colossians 3:13 it says, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." The path to peace is led by the Spirit, as we know from Galatians 5:16 and 22, where it talks about the fruits of the Spirit and the contrary nature of flesh and holy desire. Without living my life through the Spirit, my soul was in unrest. I realized that unless I lived as Jesus would, I would not get the peace I desired. The answer to the situation here was forgiveness. It took me a while to muster my will to do it. Minutes, in fact, where my mind warred with itself. Part of me bitterly shooting what my friend had said back at me, and part of me knowing that peace would only be found through forgiveness. Soon I found the strength, and once I forgave them in my heart, I was blessed with the peace of the Lord. It is inexplicable, blissful, beautiful. It left me smiling to my God. I thanked the Lord and took to memory what I had learned. That is what I have to share with you today. The best thing to do is to avoid anger, done best by surrendering our emotions to the Lord. And when anger manages to worm itself into your heart, leading to bitterness, you can diffuse it with forgiveness. Thank you for listening. And as Paul says, may the Lord of peace give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord be with you all.